Hello, Kelsie Huff here. Oh, my hair's crazy. Hey, thanks for coming and watching this video. If you are new, welcome. If you're super fans, I've only been doing this like not that long. So do I have super fans? Not yet, but I pretend I do. Any snooze, if you're here, welcome. I am doing a daily vlog. I've never done it ever before, and I'm just doing it as an experiment. Instead of talking about doing something, I'm actually doing it. So that's what we're doing today. And today's topic is comedy classes. Specifically, I think stand-up classes. A lot of the internet folks asked me about classes, so let's talk about them. And it's a little controversial, stand-up classes here in Chicago. I don't know why there's contention, but we're going to talk about some pros and we're going to talk about some cons. Now, full disclosure, here in Chicago, this is a clown town. You got the big dogs, right? You've got the Second City, you've got the IOs, you've got the Annoyance, you've got the PH Theater. So a lot of people doing sketch, and a lot of people doing improv. Not a lot of people teaching stand-up classes. So full disclosure number two, I teach stand-up classes, okay? In case you're gonna research and be like, well, of course she's pro classes, she teaches them, blah, blah. Yeah, I teach them. I'm telling you. So I taught this class called Feminine Comique for years and years, and now I've handed that class off and I've branched out to make my own classes with the Cates University. And then I've also subbed and done classes with Comedy Sports, and I've subbed at Second City. So yes, it's all out there now. It's all out there. I do teach classes. I also am somebody who learned from classes. So I went to the Second City Conservatory. I went to the IO writing program. I took stand-up classes with FemCom, the class that I ended up teaching. So I enjoy classes, okay? So now it's all out there, internet. Now you know. I'm not trying to hide anything. But I understand some of the cons, sort of, and I understand a lot of the pros. So let's just quickly talk about it. So one of the big cons of, and I'm specifically talking about stand-up comedy classes, but I think this is kind of universal for a lot of creative classes, I think. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. This coffee. I've had too much, and my brain's going a little bonkers. Okay, focus up, Huff. Cons. Money. They do cost money. Classes do cost money, and sometimes you don't need to spend that money. I get that. I mean, open mics are accessible to everyone, and they're free. And they're there. You do your research, you find it, you hone stuff on your own. Open mics are an option. And there's a ton of them here in Chicago. So you can absolutely, definitely go do that, right? For sure. The thing about people who usually are like, don't spend money on classes. What are you doing? Spending money on classes. That's a stupid waste of money. Most of the people who I hear say this are at open mics and at showcases, and they're spending $200 a weekend on booze. So what are you being all judgy for? Come on, Judgy Magoos. I love you, I see you, I love you, I see you, but you're a cuckoo. Comedy purists. I think that's one of the things too. Like, I think a lot of people assume, one of the things I hear, one of the cons is like, you can't even teach how to be funny. You either have it or you don't have it. Subtext being, I totally have it and you totally don't have it. Maybe, I don't know. Man, I'm getting sassy in this video. But there's this idea that they think, I feel like people who are anti-stand-up comedy classes think that like you're trying to teach people how to be funny. One, that's not really what's going on in the class. We're teaching like structure, we're teaching writing exercises, teaching tricks and stage performance, so you can convey the idea physically that you're writing down, connecting your body to your words, like all of these things that are learned skills. There's this idea though that I think people are like, I am creative and the muses have spoke to me and they don't speak to everyone else. And I think maybe that stems from insecurity, but I also think there is this belief that you cannot teach people how to be creative. And I just think that's bullshit. I think you can. I think there's this mythical idea with creativity or being an artist that like, you just have it and just go for it. No, it's work, man. It is work. You put in the work to be creative and it will pay off. The other con that I hear is that I think that like open mics are the work and stand-up isn't. And I think people, and stand-up, I'm sorry, I'm getting all flustered. Like, that classes aren't the work. And I think there's this weird conception that if you take a class, then you're skipping all the work and you'll instantly be given an HBO special, when that has happened to no one. That has happened to no one. You can take a class and it will give you some skills, some tips. It'll help you meet awesome people that are like you people that will then also go to open mics to you. So classes are just the tipping point. You have to do the work. Of course, you have to do shows. You have to do open mics. You have to have a writing schedule. You have to have a writing partner sometimes. You know, like there's this idea that taking a class is a shortcut. And that is not the case. That has never been the case. But I think that is a weird misconception about stand-up classes. I just think learning is cool. Which might be the nerdiest thing I've ever said. Like, I sound like, what am I, a summer camp counselor? Like, kids gather around, learning is cool, let's talk about it. But I really do think that. I think that I've taught classes with new folks. I've taught classes with folks that are, just wanted to try it because they were scared to go to an open mic for whatever reason. They just wanted to try a different environment. I've taught classes to vets who are stuck in their head and just want to get a new skill set. So I am pro class. I am pro learning. And the other thing is, I think that people get really protective about the thing they love, the creative thing they love, right? And so with creativity, there is no path. Everyone's path is a little bit different. So if someone sees people taking a class or doing anything that's like different than their path, I think they get a little freaked out by it. And sometimes they get kind of jerky and shitty about it. It's like, I don't understand why you have to disagree with the way someone is doing something. It has nothing to do with you, really. I mean, it's like if you want to make Jell-O and you're like, well, I use ice cubes in my Jell-O, and you're like, well, I use running water and no ice cubes. Like, well, you're way stupid about it. We're both making Jell-O and it looks like Jell-O, but you're stupid because your Jell-O making is dumb. Jell-O. I'm saying Jell-O a lot. This analogy's gone off the rails. But do you know what I'm saying? I don't think you need to make people feel like they're worthless because, or they're making bad choices rather, because they're not making your choice. I know this seems real Mr. Rogersy. I'm like, boys and girls, can't we all just get along and look at my choo-choo train? Oh, one day I'll be able to do that. I'll have graphic skills and I'll be able to get a choo-choo train in here, but not today. All right. Those are my rambling thoughts about classes. Basically, do it. Whatever, just go out and do it. If that means an open mic, cool. If it means a writing group, cool. If you want to take a class, cool. If you want to take a class and people are being jerks to you, just tell them to shut up and go take the class anyway. The one thing I will say about classes is, if you're taking class after class after class after class, and you're hiding in the classroom and you're not actually doing the thing that you want to do, take a look at that, okay? Mr. Robinson, but not Kelsie, out. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.